that one, getting through that, I was dancing, and I lost some energy. I lost it. I had to bring it back. I've got the thing. I've got the drink. Are you ready?
What's the drink?
Oh, wait till you see this thing. I brought something special. I brought the C-Force.
What is C-Force?
I brought the power, the energy, the hydration.
Is this a Christian drink?
A Christian drink?
C-Force. Christian for you're like, I brought the power and energy, the power of Christianity in a drink. Gatorade.
It's
Christians.
just as powerful. This is C-Force. This is Chuck Norris's premium artisan water. This is C-Force. Did I say G-Force? C-Force.
C-Force.
C-Force. Made in America. See that? Right at the top. Made in America. C-Force.
These are droplets of Chuck Norris sweat. Why does it look like an Old Spice label?
It does look like an Old Spice label.
It looks like an Old Spice label.
That's not encouraging. So I found this like...
Have you drank Chuck's water before? God, that sounds terrible.
I found a bottle of this like a year ago. This has been in the fridge in my garage forever because I saw it in a store and I was like, "That's fucking hilarious."
This is 1 year aged Chuck Norris water.
It's vintage. It's
vintage
2023 vintage Norris water. Hold on.
The sweat of Norris.
Here's. You want to hear the thing on the side? The little. There's a whole story.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay. Let's hear the story.
See, this is where eventually we need to upgrade the show to where we have like I hit a button, there's just like background music. Like that's something I need to get it set up to where I have a button, and all of a sudden it's just like ethereal.
I would have to hear music while you're
background
talking.
music.
No, that's not how it's supposed to be done.
No, just that way while I'm reading the label. So here's the story. On the side of the label it says, "A force of nature."
A force of nature.
Pure, powerful, perfect. There's no other. First off, that sounds like Zoolander, like the essence of water, the essence of wetness,
the essence of life.
So pure, powerful, perfect. There's no other way to describe water that erupts from the ground with such clarity and smoothness.
Yeah, there is.
There is
spring water.
Yeah, spring water. Filtered through volcanic rock and dating back 23,000 years to the last ice age. C-Force natural artisan water. What is artisan water? Who's the artisan? The Lord?
Nature.
Nature's
Lord. Artisan. The Lord.
The Lord. C-Force natural artisan water comes directly from a living, sustainable aquifer deep underneath Chuck Norris's Lone Wolf Ranch. This comes from underneath his wolf ranch. Oh my God.
So wait.
To give you the best premium water on the planet, we bottle at the source to preserve the water's minerals and natural high pH. C-Force isn't just water. It's Chuck Norris water. It's a roundhouse kick of hydration.
Wow.
Let's go.
Go ahead.
Let's fucking go. All right, you had a question.
No, I have no more questions. Well, I have too many questions. Did I have a question? I don't think I do.
It's not going to do anything. It's water. I held it for a sec. Like, is it going to...
It's really something? Not. It's going to punch you in the face. It's a bottle of water. You're smelling it like there's going to be a scent. If there's a scent, that's a problem.
Some mineral water has a little bit of a smell.
This is the show 50 years from now. 100 years old. We're tasting water.
That's what we do. That's what eventually this show evolves into. Is we're just old men.
This one's got ice in it.
This one's got ice in it. This one's a little too cold for my
This
taste.
one's got lemon. Ooh,
this one hurts my teeth.
This one's too cold.
So,
yeah.
I don't feel like everybody was kung fu fighting.
I'm Brendan. That's Mike.
I do feel a little Texas Ranger right now.
Do you?
Yeah, it's wet. Is that how you review water? It's wet.
I guess.
I need whiskey though, so I'm also drinking a little bit of bourbon. We're drinking Benchmark Bonded 100 proof, the Benchmark series. So, gonna pour a little bit of this. What are you drinking?
I've got something new to open up and taste test and fire off, and I realized I forgot a big portion of it. But
Go get it. And I'll talk to the people.
no, no,
No?
it's fine. Yeah, can you? Can you talk for a
Yeah,
second?
go talk to
'Cause
the. Or go get the thing. I'll go talk
You know
to the
what?
people.
How often do I do this?
How often? Every
I am a
episode.
forgetful person.
Every
I am
episode.
so sorry.
I even told you to get your stuff before we went live. I even
This
said
is
that.
my ADHD. Today
All right,
is World
I'll
Mental
talk to the
Health
people.
Awareness.
It is
So
World
this
Mental
is
Health
my
Day.
it is World Mental. I even wore a sweater for it or a hoodie for it.
You are enough.
Yeah, it's a mental health hoodie. I wore it on another episode. Oh well, that's an old show.
Go get
I
your
think
stuff.
I wore it on an old show. Okay, I'll be back.
Go.
I'm
Go.
going to get stuff.
I'm gonna take this benchmark bonded. This is 100 proof bottled in bond whiskey. Bottled in bond whiskeys are some of my favorites. They make a shitload of them, and because they make a shitload of okay, hold on. It has to meet a lot of standards and a lot of rules. It has to be 100 proof. Has to be made a very certain way. We're not going to go into that. There's other channels and podcasts you can learn about the history of bonded whiskey from. But what I'm going to tell you is it has so many rules that they have to make a shitload of it because they have to make sure it all comes out the right way. So it's kind of relatively cheap. You can find really good whiskeys at a really low price. I will 1,000% always recommend getting a bonded whiskey. You're going to save yourself some money. It is good. It's on ice, but I also think I'm going to need to cut a little bit of the Chuck Norris wolf piss water in this just to kind of cut through. Whew. I normally go straight whiskey.
I'm back. I got this.
He's back.
Good.
He's back.
Coming back.
No, I just put the wolf piss water in my whiskey.
You what?
I put the wolf piss water in my whiskey.
Oh,
Chuck Norris, the wolf burial ground. Where is this?
You're basically getting. What if his septic tank,
Chuck
like,
Norris
or
Lone Wolf
plumbing
Ranch.
blows?
Okay, hold on. Chuck Norris's Lone Wolf Ranch. Is that the name of the ranch? It's not a wolf. Okay, I might have read it wrong. I don't think it's a wolf ranch. I think it's his Lone Wolf Ranch, like a lone
And if it is a lone wolf ranch, that poor lonely wolf.
I was gonna say yes. If it's just one wolf, one wolf on a ranch,
Poor wolf, just howling.
It's his only wolf ranch. It's Chuck Norris's Lone Wolf Ranch.
Oh, that's that's a good way to look at it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what I'm drinking, you will remember a little while ago I had a mezcal that I absolutely loved called U-Ball, and you
U-Ball?
need to stop that cat.
We certainly do.
So yes, U-Ball. This is what we've got now. Something very pretty.
I was with you when you picked that up.
You were. Are we gonna? I saw.
It's got an interesting label. Yeah, we went in public. We picked up shot bottles. We're gonna drink the same shot tonight. Later on, it's gonna be interesting. But you picked that
I'm
bottle
watching
up.
my cat go through my kitchen cabinets one by one. Like Sammy, stop it!
I need a
He's
bell
not
for
gonna
you.
stop.
I need a bell.
You do.
I do.
But it's gonna keep hearing that slamming noise in the background.
I don't think anybody's hearing it.
I'm hearing a slamming noise, and he needs to stop it. I'm gonna throw something. Okay, sorry. It's not gonna stop. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, so what we got is the Pechuga mezcal. Pechuga means breast.
What?
Today we are learning.
Wait, hold on.
Say Pechuga. It means breast.
Pechuga.
Okay, don't say it like that.
Wait, breast like a titty?
Like a chicken or a turkey, because actually involved in the distillation process of mezcal, when it's distilled with pechuga and fruits.
Is it like a whiskey thing where there's like wild turkey and fighting cock, where it's like a symbolic we just call it that.
This isn't symbolic. They actually, inside the still, hang a breast from a chicken or a turkey, and it incorporates into the distillation process.
That's titty distilled booze?
Yeah, so we've got another bottle here, which is fantastic. It's got all of our labeling. It's from Oaxaca. It's from the village of San Juan del Rio. The agave variety is a 7-year-old agave.
What does the mezcalera have for lunch?
It was cut using a machete. The cooking was done on concrete stone oven. The crushing was with a stone mill, which is a tahona. It's actually pulled by donkey.
If you haven't picked up on this before, if you're listening to the show, a mezcal will give you every step of the process. They will let you know how they did every part. As Brendan is holding up the label right now, that has, I'd say at a glance, I'd say there's about 15 to 20 lines, 15 to 20 steps.
Yeah, the crushing method is stone mill, the fermentation method, the yeast method, natural ambient yeast. The distillation was done.
Natural yeast, baby.
Yeast.
This is natural. This yeast is natural, baby.
Jake Paul got nothing on me.
I can't wait for that fight. That's going to be fantastic.
I can't wait either. But the one part here that you want to pay attention to is the distillation. Copper stills, double distilled with fruits and roasted turkey breast. So it's not a raw; it's a roasted turkey.
Okay, so they're not just like killing a bird and sticking its like carcass in there.
No.
It's deliciously roasted meat.
You're putting roasted meat in there with it, and it's very popular for celebrations, weddings, things like that.
Okay. Nice pop.
Oh, it's very fruity.
Very fruity?
Yeah, mezcal is known for being so smoky, but I'll tell you what, there's an absolute forward sweetness in front of the smokiness, like almost like, as weird as it is to say, mango wood chips.
Mango wood chips.
Like I'm kind of getting piney.
Okay.
We're cooking a pineapple on the grill.
Cooking. Okay.
You've done. I'm trying to do it in something that people would know. Like you've probably had a pineapple that's been cooked or roasted a little bit.
So kind of a roasty charred sugar.
Yeah.
Fruit.
So yeah, and I always.
Are you getting chicken?
Am I getting chicken? No, I don't know.
Tasting chicken.
Find out in a second.
Oh, are you smelling chicken?
Well, you read your bottle, and I'll tell you what, there was something very interesting that I read here, just from the tasting notes. Let me go into the middle section, because it is
There's
a big
no
thing,
way that yours is as cool as mine. Mine says it is a roundhouse kick of hydration. Come on now.
All right, let me try this then. It offers a range of incomparable flavors and scents worthy of tasting by the best palates.
Okay.
A nose full of citrus, herbs, fruits, and spices, where at first you perceive notes of orange, anise, pineapple, and mango. It is a mezcal of a strong yet velvety character with an explosion of flavors on the palate. Its sweet touch invites you to have another sip, and in the aftertaste, you can appreciate the flavor.
Do you want your liquor to eat like a meal?
In the aftertaste, you can appreciate the flavor of the turkey breast, as well as hints of cinnamon, rice, and mango. It is traditionally used only on the grandest of occasions, such as baptisms and weddings.
Baptisms and weddings? Congratulations, you're getting married. Drink some of this titty whiskey. Bottoms up there, buddy.
Titty whiskey. It is mezcal. If anything,
what's the word? What's the word? What's it called? Say the word.
Mezcal.
No, say the name.
Pachuga.
Which means?
Breast.
Titty booze.
Titty booze. Anyway.
Titty booze. Name of the episode. I don't know if I can do that.
Fantastic.
Are you getting fruits?
Very cinnamony.
Are you getting meat?
Clove at the end, smoky right off the bat. It would go good with meat. I don't know if I'm...
It's getting called Thanksgiving Mezcal in the chat.
Thanksgiving Mezcal. I kind of like it. Oh, like, and with the orange, it's
bite a piece of sage right before you take bite a piece of sage, shoot the mezcal, suck the orange, snort a cranberry.
Snort a cranberry.
Snort a cranberry.
Fantastic. No, that's yeah, I'm down. That's that's very, very good. And yeah, it definitely has, especially with the smokiness of mezcal. I think all mezcals remind you of like some cooked food because of the smokiness. Okay. So I can definitely get the breast, the pachuga, the turkey.
I get the breast. The breast comes through.
Yeah. So we picked that up today, and I was very happy to be in a place that had a actual mezcal aisle. That's always nice to see.
Shout out to Party Source in
Yeah,
Bellevue, Kentucky.
because usually you would be getting just one or two mezcals in a tequila or something like that in a tequila aisle. So
Yeah. Normally
anyway,
there's about one or two options, usually Monte Alban, and then one other like more kind of craft mezcal. Like usually you're going to see Monte Alban, Monte Alban
yeah,
on the shelf.
or Vita.
Not familiar with Vita.
It's the green bottle.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought you. Yeah, it
I probably
shows
would
up
recognize it when I see it, but the name's not. The
You
name's
recognize
not.
it if you saw it.
Yeah, the name's not.
This
pulling
is
up.
another. I'll tell you what. We happened to run into a rep, an old friend of ours, one of our alcohol reps from back in the day.
Well, what
he
happened
said,
was
he said this is what he said this was a brand of theirs, and I'll tell you what, it's phenomenal. Like both the things I've had from U-Ball, this is, and it's not unreasonably priced. But yeah, you know what? You can definitely tell. I'm now realizing the festive label makes more sense.
So what does U-Ball mean?
That means you know how to play basketball real well. Like, hey man, U-Ball.
There you go.
You ball real good.
U-Ball breast.
You
You're good at basketball breast.
Yes, fantastic. I don't know what U-Ball means. I guess I could.
I'm gonna Google it right now. Spell it for me. Y-U-U.
It's a social enterprise that highlights the traditions of the native Oaxacan producer of mezcal.
Social enterprise titty. Social enterprise.
Let's see.
Breast.
Who owns U-Ball? It's owned by Grupo U-Ball.
Grupo U-Ball. Man, I understand. It's another language, but they have that wonderful flow going on right now. Grab a U-Ball. What was it?
Oh wow! It is Zapotec, which is like
that sounds fun.
Yeah. This is. Oh wow! It means earth and fire.
Earth and fire. U-Ball.
Earth is
earth?
U. Y-U-U, and then ball B-A-A-L. I could be pronouncing it wrong, but it's Y-U-U and then B-A-A-L, and that's
Y-U-U,
earth
B-A-A-L.
and fire.
Earth, fire, breast.
Yep. U-Ball, a traditional Pachuga mezcal made with agave, espadín, fresh fruits, and it is a raw turkey breast. This one's saying it is hung in the still between distillations.
Uncooked breast in the liquor. Put it. That's like a Cardi B song. Come
uncooked
to life.
Breast in the liquor.
Breast in the liquor. Put that raw. No.
Good God.
Raw breast in the liquor.
This is why I don't watch award shows anymore. Is because that's usually the song.
I didn't watch the American Music Awards, which happened a few days ago. I did watch the last. I think it was the Emmys.
You did say you watched that.
Yeah, The Bear won a lot. I think we talked about that. The Bear won a lot of awards. Shogun won a lot of awards.
Yes.
TV's been interesting. I have a lot of shows I love, and there's one show in particular that I'm kind of waiting for the reason to turn it off and go, nope, done. And I'll get to that. But the good shows, I want to talk about the good shows.
Okay.
My wife and I have started picking up sitcoms. We're trying to start a couple sitcoms from the beginning and just power through all of them. We started with Community. Have you ever got a chance to watch Community?
I haven't, but I do enjoy some people that are on Community.
Joel McHale,
Ken
Jeong, Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Allison Brie is great in it, and there's a couple other actors and actresses who are wonderful in that show. Donald Glover is in that show. I can't recommend this show enough. I did not know that this show, Community, was created by the guy who now makes Rick and Morty.
Okay.
That guy, and also the brothers, the two guys who went on to do like Civil War and Infinity War and all of those big Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Those two guys. And so an interesting crew that made this show.
Right.
And it shows because they did one entire episode that was a Nintendo game. It was literally
Really?
video
Like
game
8-bit
graphics.
or 16-bit or
It was an 8-bit video
whatever bit
game
that is.
where they went through like a Legend of Zelda style, like, or what was the second Zelda game where it was side scrolling?
A Link to the no.
You know what I'm talking about, though. How it was a side scrolling
I
Zelda?
think so.
It was that style of an entire video game episode. They've done 2-part episodes where it's like a futuristic apocalyptic world, but they're playing paintball at their community college, and it translates into like they're doing a post-apocalyptic movie to tell this story. It's so well made. It's so well written. The characters are so well done in this show. I can't say enough good things about Community.
I'll have
Joel
to check it
McHale's
out.
fantastic. Ken Jeong starts off as a background character,
Yeah.
but as the show progresses, it just gets better and better. Something interesting to think about with that show, and you can go see interviews of this, where other people that worked with him said this. That apparently Chevy Chase was like an asshole
Really?
on this show. There's a couple interviews where Joel McHale talks about fist fighting the man. And I guess in his book, there's a chapter where he talks about how to fist fight Chevy Chase.
That's amazing. I gotta check that
And
out.
it's interesting seeing old Chevy Chase cutting jokes with like young actors and actresses and being part of this. Because this show came
Yeah.
out in like 2000.
Probably 2010.
20, a while ago. There's a few
20
jokes.
a while ago.
There's a few jokes that like, wow, that's pushing the envelope for 2024.
Oh,
so
it's
interesting to see.
2009. I was very
2009.
close.
2009.
So close.
Wonderful show. Can't recommend that enough. We've also recently started Abbott Elementary. And by started Abbott Elementary, we're 2 episodes in.
Yeah.
The reason we started is because they announced that they're going to do a crossover episode with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Abbott Elementary is about an elementary school in Philadelphia. That's where it takes place. So they're going to
Sounds
do
like
a crossover
desperation to get eyes on your show that might not be
episode.
that good.
It's a ranted and raved about show. It's won awards. It won a lot of the comedy
What
awards.
do you think?
I loved it. I need to watch
you
more.
do?
I think it's
Okay.
great. I think it's great. It's the Office style of a show where like you're watching the scenarios play out, and then there's the first person, the person talking directly to the camera about their
Have you
opinion of
given
happened.
have you given What We Do in the Shadows a chance?
It's on the list. We keep talking about
man.
it. People recommend it so much to me. I think
I've gotten
we're
my
gonna
parents
have to
hooked
start
on
that.
it now. I've gotten my parents hooked on it now, and they absolutely love it. And they're caught up to the point that the final season begins this month, and it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I can't rave about that comedy enough. And yeah, because I mean that's what I always kind of watch of the comedies. I've restarted a few myself recently.
Yeah.
Raising Hope that I never saw. I think Raising Hope. was
Hold
hilarious.
on. Don't tell me. Raising Hope. Nope. I was gonna say the Jason Lee show, but that's My Name Is Earl.
Yeah, it some of the people cross over with it. Raising Hope was boy has one night stand with girl is serial killer, girl goes to jail, has baby, is put to death in the electric chair, and then from episode 1 on,
This is a comedy.
family-
This is a
Yeah.
comedy.
Yep. From episode 1 on, this family is raising this baby, and it's young parents, young grandparents, and then the great grandmother is Cloris Leachman, Mama, who every now and then, some episodes she's lucid, some episodes she completely thinks the war is still going on, and she's going to help the boys fight.
Nothing you have said sounds like a comedy. They have
it's
sex,
hilarious.
and the mom's a serial killer and is put to death, and the grandmother is in like a drug haze raising this child. I've heard nothing that sounds like a comedy.
It is a hilarious show, but the real funny show, and not many people know about it, I found it on Netflix one night, and it has become... I can't tell you any of the actors' names because I can't pronounce them. I can't... The show takes place, it is filmed, it's a Norwegian sitcom. Or not sitcom, but it's a Norwegian show called Norseman. It's an 8th century Viking village experiencing political rivalry, social change, but it is dark humor. It is violent Vikings, but absolute comedy humor, just trying to. It's take the show Vikings and make it a spoof, and it's wonderful. There were only 3 seasons of it. Everybody just has the coolest accents. The scenery is stunning. It is shot around these just waterfalls and this just magnificence of Norway that just it looks beautiful. Every episode, I'm just half laughing at the show and half just drawn in by the magnificent nature around that usually would be green screened in other shows, but they're all around these just awesome points.
There's so much beauty in Elden Ring that I've been playing, which that reminds me of those big sprawling backgrounds. But then I keep dying in Elden Ring, and I don't get to appreciate the background because I'm too frustrated and mad at the game.
I restarted Valhalla. I'm a very, based on what I'm doing in my life, what I'm gaming on. So I started watching Norseman, and all of a sudden now I've restarted Valhalla, and I've got the Viking experience going. So yeah, I don't do the Elden Ring because I'm too angry of a person, and I'll break my controller.
There's a few times where I've had to put down my PlayStation Portal. I play a lot of PlayStation on my Portal. I love laying in bed and just playing that thing. It's very comfortable. I love the way that thing works. There's a lot of times where I will just die and I will just have to immediately turn it off because you have to get. I'm at the point where I'm at like level. Okay, there people get up to like level 225. So I'm nowhere. I'm at like level 60 something right now. So like, I have to get about 30,000 experience points right now to level up every single level. So I'll get to like 21,000, and then I'll go down this hallway that I've grinded down this hallway 1,000 times of like killing all these enemies to get experience points and then starting over. But then I'll just fuck up, and then I'll die and lose it all, and then I have to go back and do an entire section. And there are certain parts of this game that are very, very unforgiving because when you die, you get one chance to go back and get your points, to get your experience points. It puts them in like a little flame that you can go to where you died, so you can get them back. But if you die before you get them back, they go away forever.
Well, that's some bullshit.
Oh, it's the entire like. I think it's why the game is so frustrating and why you hear the stories you hear about like the Dark Souls games and Elden Ring and all of those things. I fucking love it.
That would drive me nuts.
I am
not that's why I'm ready to start. Like very soon, you guys will be able to tune in and watch me play a movie that you can watch, a horror movie that is a choose your own, not something where I'm constantly going, fuck this shit, fuck it. Like that's how I get with games. I get to is that game that's made you the angriest? Is there a game that has frustrated you more than Battletoads?
Elden Ring's up there.
Elden Ring.
I would say the Ninja Turtles game on Nintendo was one of the most frustrating video games of all time.
You reminded me of that the other day, and I can't believe how well you reminded me. Like, yeah, that's so funny that you mentioned that.
Because it was a top down that was pretty easy to do, and then you go into the sewers, and the sewers were fun. They were kind of like little Mario levels where you throw your weapons and hit things and shit like that. But the second world had that water level.
Yeah,
that was fucking murder. And I hated with a red hot passion. That was frustrating. The Roger Rabbit video game for Nintendo. I, to this day, have never beat that game. I'm all the way at Judge Doom. At the very end of the game where you're fighting Judge Doom. I cannot beat Judge Doom. Never in my life. I had that game
I ever played
my entire childhood. No, Roger Rabbit.
Oh, no, I know what you're talking about. Oh, Roger Rabbit, yeah.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit video game?
I never beat too many video games, and I think it's 100%, like, again, coming back to my accepting of the fact that I am all over the place, and I am a squirrel when I see a shiny object, and my ADA, I never finish games, but I've started, like, it takes a special game. There's a few games that stand out, and for me to 100% a game, that's really crazy. There's 2 that I did that with that I can think of recently, and both were on PlayStation. That would be the Spider-Man 2 game and Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay.
Both I couldn't recommend more. I mean, I never thought anything would compete with the Batman Arkham trilogy for a great superhero game, but that Spider-Man game is better than the Spider-Man movies. It's a shame when the
I can vouch
story
for that for the first one. The first game is fantastic.
it's a shame that the stories sometimes that we experience in games aren't more readily available to the general public that doesn't play games, because there's some
Arkham City,
outstanding stories out there and movies. Like, they are going to make a Ghost of Tsushima movie. Hopefully they do it justice. That's what happens every time. Is it's hard to translate all those hours you put into a game and feeling the connection to characters and making decisions for them and stuff, and trying to translate
I need to
down
play
into a movie.
that game so I can play the second one. The second one looks interesting to me.
Ghost
I
of
don't
Yotei.
I don't know how much of the first game. The trailer for the new one has a cowboy kind of like Western vibe. I don't know if the first game has that vibe.
Any good samurai movie will kind of have a Western vibe. And that goes back to samurai cinema and the history of cinema. And like a lot of times in post-war Japan, the Japanese at first weren't allowed to make movies about like samurais and historical things that were Japanese. But once they did like a lot of like, there were Westerns and things like that. And then, yeah, so I don't know. Sorry. I've done this rant before. I think I've done this rant on 3 different things about samurai movies, Star Wars, and Westerns, how they all intersect.
I think you did this rant when you talked about Shogun. I think you did this rant when you talked to Ridge the first time about Ghost of Tsushima.
Yep.
But that's okay.
No,
I always get a
lot of good samurais movies have a Western vibe, and a lot of Westerns like it's a samurai is a Japanese Western, basically. A lot of the samurai movies, you have those showdowns, you have those moments, everybody scatters. I don't know.
I keep getting the urge every once in a while to restart the Metal Gear Solid games. A lot. That's recently also because they're coming out with a new one, Metal Gear Delta.
I heard about that.
I'm a big fan of those games. I love the Metal Gear games. Those were the games that I knew how to beat all of them growing up. I know all of the patterns. Like, those games are fun to me. I love the stories.
Just saw a shout out in the
they're just very, very long.
In the chat from Bob, a shout out about The Last of Us. That game has recently come to PlayStation Plus, and I've downloaded it. That's another game I'm thinking about streaming. I've heard such good things about The Last of Us. I've heard that it's an unmissable game on PlayStation. You look like you're about ready for a beer.
I'm drinking out of this, by the way, Downtown Flavortown glass.
I saw you got a heck of a gift package there.
God smiles on his strongest soldiers, sir. I was gifted a box. To be perfectly honest, I said something and then they sent me one. They had posted a photo. Guy Fieri's Downtown Flavortown posted a photo of a bunch of boxes they were putting together and sending as like customer appreciation gifts, essentially. And I had commented on the Instagram post, "How do I get one?" And they immediately messaged me and was like, "Hey, what's your address?" Well, 100% send you one. So they sent me one. I have a Guy Fieri hat now. It's like red, white, and blue. It has like Guy's little embroidered face.
That's awesome.
This is the real stunter, though.
Yeah.
Is the
Guy Fieri Flavortown Duck.
Yeah.
This is incredible. That was terrible in my ear. Fucking asshole.
But that was amazing. And also the fact that, like, as I get older, shit like that is really important to me. I notice things like that company going out of their way and just sending shit to their fucking customers as like a thank you gift and stuff like that. That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
I pay attention to stuff like that. Like, I love going to that place in Gatlinburg. When we go down there, we always try to go to Downtown Flavortown. Cool. This is one of my favorite whiskey glasses. It's a good time.
Very cool. Very cool.
So you're saying I need a beer. That means you need a beer as well.
I have a beer. I do.
You have a beer?
I do. Yes, I do.
What do you got? You go first this week.
Last week I had the pumpkin beer.
Yeah.
And it was okay. I just feel like for my last review on that, if you missed last week, the Sam Adams pumpkin beer smells like a pumpkin pie, smells delicious, tastes like Christmas. It tastes too much like Christmas clove and spice. And did your grandma or anyone in your family ever have those like potpourri dishes with like the crumbled dried flowers?
My
and
mom
stuff
was
in
a
'em?
big potpourri person
Yeah,
when I was a
this
kid.
it's not that it's terrible. It's just not my style. So this week we're going with something else from Sam Adams to see if it is my style. Something that is labeled as hearty and smooth. This is the 5.3%, 16 IBU lager. This is the Oktoberfest this year. We are going to enjoy a Sam Adams Oktoberfest. And we're
Okay.
going to enjoy it in a Pilsner glass.
Oh, that's
University
a
of
beautiful
Kentucky.
Pilsner glass.
University of Kentucky Pilsner.
University of Kentucky. I just have a short pint, Brooklyn Brewery.
That was one of my favorite tours I've ever taken.
Never been there.
Oh man. Oh, I thought you were on that. You were not on that trip.
I was the one who had to stay back and work. I'm the
You
one.
were.
I was still the low bartender on the totem pole, so I'm the one who didn't get to go to New York. I'm the one that had to stay back and work.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. But
We'll go to
I got
New York
this.
together,
I got
buddy.
this from like a random event we did at the bar one day.
Yeah.
But I do have a pumpkin beer this week. I'm continuing the theme of pumpkin beers. I'm going to drink pumpkin beers all throughout October. This is an interesting one. This is from Urban Artifact. This is Jack.
Oh no.
This is their pumpkin pie American fruit tart.
See, that's now the reason I say oh no, and it's no offense to Urban Artifact. Urban Artifact specializes in tart beers and sour beers.
Yes.
And that is a style that I have never been able to get into.
Not my favorite.
But that's very interesting. The Oktoberfest smells nice.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, that's a beer. That's an Oktoberfest. Yeah. See, when I think of Oktoberfest, though, I want a sausage and sauerkraut and the beer combination, beer brats. What you got there? It smells tart, doesn't it?
It's very tart. Here's
Very
the thing.
tart.
And this is funny. I kind of eat like an asshole Monday through Friday. I eat the same thing every day. I eat a Greek yogurt for breakfast and I eat about 2 or 3 hard-boiled eggs for lunch every single day. I have my brand of like Greek yogurt dialed in. I get the same ones, but now because it's the fall, I've been getting this limited edition, like a pumpkin pie Greek yogurt. It's like the little, the little 1-serving yogurt cup that you open up. Immediately off the bat, this smells like a pumpkin pie yogurt. I feel like you have a whole joke lined up now.
No, when you said you eat, I'm an immature child, my friend. When you said you eat like an asshole, it sounded like some valley girl going, "I eat like assholes." Like I don't know. Like I just like when you said you ate like an asshole. In my mind, never mind. I apologize.
No, that's good.
I'm a child.
Let's see what this is doing. This is pumpkin pie American fruit tart. Jack from Urban Artifact.
There you go. Let's see what you think. Better than I thought your reaction was going to be.
Better than I thought it was going to be. The tartness is absolutely there. But I think because it's like a darker, earthier tone from the pumpkin pie flavor, the pumpkin pie spice they obviously used in this, it balances it really
I could
well.
almost see I could almost see a tart beer balancing out some of the clove and things like that when you got like the heavy clove and
yeah. Almost imagine if there was like a cider lemonade deal, almost like a cider shandy. Like a cider shandy, my friend.
Shandy. It's
It's
funny.
not the worst thing in the world.
It's not the worst? Well, that's good.
It's not my favorite. I wouldn't be getting a 6-pack of it. But
So I was
doesn't
corrected.
suck.
for those that watched last week, the two of you, I did I don't know if it was two. I'm just making up a number. I did a little bit of a list of the Halloween costumes for the year, and I've been corrected that my list was not as accurate as it could be. There's a more accurate list on USA Today. Screw Spirit Halloween. Screw the American retail, whatever. I've got the kids' costumes. I've got the dogs' costumes.
So before we were looking at we were looking at a bunk list. We were looking at a list perpetrated by the companies. It was brought to you by the people trying to sell you the costumes. Now we have the people's list. Now we have the real list. Now we have insight. Is what you're telling me. Okay.
You want to hear some quick ones from let's see, the pet section. You know what?
The what section?
The pets.
Pet section. So they're not separating cats and dogs.
No, just pets. What do you think number one for pets will be this year?
Number one for pets?
Per USA Today.
Number one for pets per USA, a pumpkin.
Top three for pets. Number three is a hot dog. If your dachshund is not dressed up like a hot dog, why do you have a dachshund? Seriously.
That's true.
Number two, a stegosaurus. That's pretty cute. You got a little
stegosaurus. That's. I mean, I wouldn't have thought of that, but that's cute.
Little dinosaur. Yeah. And number one, dog pool. They're expecting a lot of dog pools this year, and I can completely see that.
The problem is that dog also was very unique because of how ugly it was. The whole look of that dog. Yeah. You're just gonna have a lot of people stuffing their fussy dogs into a Deadpool costume.
For the adults, I'll go through these real quick, but there's a top 15.
Are you going from
some of them I'm going to
1?
go through. Some of them I'm going to go through quick because they're all from Inside Out. Number 15, Anxiety from Inside Out. Number 14, Wolverine, because every Deadpool needs a Wolverine, they say. Yeah. Number 3, Disgust from Inside Out. Number 12, Anger from Inside Out. Number 11, the Chipotle Burrito. Chipotle has released its first ever line.
Burrito?
Chipotle has released its first ever line of Halloween costumes this year, and so far, the burrito option is the winner, according to Google.
I think it's so interesting that Chipotle is a fast food that a lot of people make their personality. Of that's what they eat. That's where they go all the time.
Yeah.
That's their they think about Chipotle way too fucking much. It's okay. It's good. It's fine. But I'm interested. I'm very surprised that a Chipotle costume made it into the top 15.
How about in the top 10 at number 8, Dr. Doom?
That's you're gonna see that. I think you're gonna see
in July. Robert Downey Jr. was revealed to be coming back. Dr. Doom.
Here's my thing though: is I think you're gonna see a lot of lazy Dr. Doom. I grew up with the Dr. Doom that was a full costume, had a cape, buckles, all kinds of gear, a mask. They're gonna do a mask and a hood, but if you notice when he came out as Dr. Doom, he had it was just a green suit essentially. Yeah. My concern is this holiday, everyone that does Dr. Doom is just gonna do a cheesy, lazy. I have a green coat and a mask on. That's my Dr. Doom.
Let's shoot to the top 3. Number 3, I've never heard of. Are you familiar with a horror video called Poppy's Playtime?
I am not familiar with Poppy's Playtime.
Catnap. This character is from the popular horror video Poppy's Playtime, the most searched of all of the game's creepy, smiling critters resembling an eerie, purple, wide-mouthed cat.
You said from the game? It's probably
from a horror video.
Okay. Because that's the thing. A lot of these kids, Five Nights at Freddy's and, all these weird, goofy cartoon horror videos. Yeah. So I guess that makes sense. So what's number 2?
Number 2 is Ray Gun. The breakdancer, the girl they made fun of from the Olympics, Ray Gun.
That's a fucking genius costume. Because you literally can just buy a blue jumpsuit off of Amazon and just, put the designs on it with, tape. And just do goofy dancing. Have you seen, though, that apparently after that she has won a bunch more awards? She is not, according to that world, bad.
That's interesting.
But I digress.
Number one is from a movie that I am going to watch tomorrow, and I can talk about it with you next week finally, and that'll be Beetlejuice. But
Oh,
number one is not Beetlejuice. Do you have an idea of who it could be?
Jenna Ortega,
Nope.
Lydia Dietz. Then
No. Shrunken Head Bob.
what?
Apparently, number one, USA Today feels like the top 15 Halloween costumes, according to Google searches right now, and what Google is trending for what people are searching for, Shrunken Head Bob is currently leading.
Shrunken Head Bob, and you're gonna see it. So I'm not gonna say anything to ruin it, but like, based on how they use that character in the movie, I'm very it's cool to see that that's a character people gravitate towards.
It's such a throwaway character of 5 minutes in the first movie. Like,
but you'll be surprised how it gets used in this one. It's
I'm
exactly
excited.
that. It's funny how they bring that character back around. I will say this. Great. I think they did a great job. I got nothing negative to say about the new Beetlejuice. I think it was well done. People can complain about certain pieces of it that we'll talk about once you've seen it, but I don't think people have anything really to complain about. Like, they made a pretty decent, for as long as it's been, it's a pretty decent Beetlejuice sequel.
Yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be my show watching day. My Great British Baking Show is back.
Mm-hmm.
What
is it? What is it with a Cockney accent and a flour sifter that just puts you in like a happy place?
It's a sieve. Be a fucking adult.
Okay.
I think
flour
that's what it
sieve.
is.
I'm sorry.
I think that's what it is. I don't know. I could be wrong.
A baker in the chat.
It's the most polite, great reality show that has ever existed. Plus, I love everything. I don't know. All of my favorite shows are Taskmaster, Would I Lie to You, The Great British Bake Off. Like, I like too many British shows. I don't know what it is. I've been thinking about getting BritBox. It's a subscription service that is a lot of British TV. And
BritBox?
BritBox.
I mean, yeah. I'm not mad about that. That sounds like a great.
It's got all the dramas. It's got all the. It's basically BBC, but everything from your English television.
I'll give you this. British reality shows are far more productive than American reality shows.
Oh yeah.
Recently, I did what I call the over-the-shoulder watch, where my wife will watch a show and I'll see pieces of it throughout the season as she's watching it, as I'm not paying attention to the whole shows. But one specifically was Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Have you heard about this show?
God, I can.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I can tell already what it would be, but go ahead.
So it's a show about a bunch of women in Utah who are Mormon wives.
Yep.
They're very rich. They all get a bunch of plastic surgery and get a bunch of work done. And they are just essentially really mean, uppity, snarky people to each other.
Are they the wives of the same guy?
No. All of their husbands are like these, like, he's an architect to he runs a seminary school. They're all like big, wealthy, like well-to-do men.
I didn't know if it was all the wives of like one Mormon guy.
The women are all TikTok stars. The women all have their own money on this show, the wives. Have you seen the weird TikTok video? You might have been scrolling through TikTok and passed it by, where there's a girl dancing while her baby's in like a NICU with like a disease, and she's dancing, and it's like, my baby is RSV and like, we're scared for his survival. Have you seen that video? It exists in the world.
No.
Okay, well, the girl in that video is one of the girls in this show, and like half of the show is about the other girls calling her a piece of shit. And I just realized I'm talking about this on the fucking show. So that just goes to show you the difference between American and British reality shows.
No, I saw
one exists. And then I also found out today that one is called, I haven't seen this one, I know nothing about it, but there's apparently a show called MILF Manor, where they get a bunch of MILFs together and a bunch of boys for them to date, like younger men for them to date. Not
Yeah.
boys. They're over 18. They're legal.
No,
but
no,
younger
that's
men.
that's the Catholic version of the show.
But here's the catch. So you got a bunch of MILFs and you got a bunch of young guys. Do you know
Appreciate
what the
my
twist
Alter
is?
Void joke.
Do you know what the twist
What's
is?
the twist?
They're all the sons of the different women. So these
Oh
women
my
are
God.
watching their sons get MILFed on by another MILF while they're trying to MILF on someone else's son.
I am
this is-
disappointed in what has happened to it. And this is why I like the Cockney accent and the
if they remade Downfall of the Western Civilization today, it would be quite the fucking documentary. I'll tell you that right now.
there was a fantastic episode of The Orville, and that's another show I couldn't recommend enough to you, especially if you ever love Star Trek: The Next Generation or anything like that, because it plays a lot like that. There's
Chuck
a great
Norris Water's
episode.
actually really good.
That's good. There's a great episode where they've been put into a zoo of basically different alien species, and to release themselves, they traded something to these other aliens, and what they traded was something from Earth, and it's reality TV. It's the biggest fucking zoo that there is, and they have just a big screen inside this zoo exhibit, and all the aliens are watching the Kardashians throwing punches across tables and shits like that. And there's just so many. The Orville is worth it for so many things like that, little social commentary bits.
I love that kind of thing. So I might have to one day. It's low on the list, but I might have to add that to the list one day.
Well, we've given a few different things to watch on the list. Watch Norseman, watch Community, watch.
Oh, I gotta tell you about the show I don't watch. The show I'm not liking.
What are you
not liking? The show I'm waiting for the reason to stop watching it.
Okay.
American Horror Story Grotesquerie.
Really? Each season has a theme. What is this theme?
I'm 3 episodes in.
Okay.
And I can say that, essentially this one is themed around, it's just grotesque horror.
Okay.
I'm going to say this because it happens in the very first episode. The killer boils a baby.
Oh, okay. That's insane.
And kills a family and stuffs their body parts in their mouth. And it is very they're trying to push the envelope of disturbing. My problem with American Horror Story Grotesquerie right now is the show started and it jumped into the most over the top unbelievable. Some of the characters I can't believe they're real. I can't. I'm like, this would not happen. There's a lot of times watching this show where I'm saying real people. No one talks like this in any movie, in any TV show, in any world. Nobody fucking talks like this. So without spoiling it, that's kind of the problem I'm having with it. I'm trying to watch it because it's like Travis Kelce's debut, and I like Travis Kelce, so I'm trying to see what he does. And he's okay. He's all right in it. So far, what I will say is, it's hard to not look at him and go, "That's Travis Kelce, the football player." He's not really kind of stepping out of that. I see you shaking your head. I could see you. I could see you. It's okay. It's okay for me to like football players on other teams and what they do. But I digress. That's the show. We're 3 episodes in. I'm really close to clocking out, and just letting my wife finish it on her own.
So there's a chance in the show that Travis Kelce could die. No, wait. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that.
No, there's a very good chance.
Yeah. Okay.
When it sits and levels out, it gets more intense.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we did go
pulling
the curtain back. The next few weeks, we've got ourselves kind of set on shots. We each went around and picked out a bunch of little bottles of shots, and we are going to come up with a way that we can mysteriously pick them out, maybe jumble them up in a hat at some point.
There's one that I don't know what it is.
But we did find one that we don't know what it is.
Well, I have another one that I don't know what it is. That
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could share it because it's going to be random mixed in. So I guess I can
Yeah,
talk
yeah, yeah.
about it real quick. This
Yeah,
is not
talk
what I'm
about
going to drink tonight. This is 100 proof Union Jack Snake Bite.
A snake bite is Yukon Jack with lime juice, and a snake bite is that's a cocktail.
I thought a snake bite was like a beer drink.
No,
Like a Guinness in it.
snake bite is equal parts lager and cider. Okay, that's one of
That's
them.
what I was thinking of.
That's not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of
Snake Bite whiskey drink with Yukon Jack. It is
snake bite shot. It's
Yukon Jack and Rose's lime juice cordial.
lime
That's
juice.
it.
Yeah,
Oh, so it's just gonna be lime.
it's gonna be a lime Yukon Jack.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
But there is another one that we don't know what it is,
No, we don't.
and I'm not really excited about it.
I'm excited for the journey, not necessarily the destination, but I
No.
think the journey's going to be fun. The journey's always fun.
This is for everybody else. This isn't really for us. We have both a 99 mystery flavor.
Mystery. Now
We have no idea. It does say that it's scratch and sniff on it.
it has a scratch and sniff on it. I'm gonna give it a scratch. It has a little old school scratch and sniff label here.
I don't smell shit.
I get nothing.
I smell the hands of a
nothing.
dirty store clerk. Do I got to pull it back first?
Yeah, it smells like minimum wage.
Jesus Christ, you asshole.
What? Pay them more. Pay your employees more.
Where is this scratch and sniff at?
It doesn't scratch or sniff.
This is the biggest trick that they've ever played. Is just you know what we're gonna do? These dumbasses. We're gonna make them smell the bottle.
Just say it's scratch and sniff. Just
And
put it on there. The two specific idiots.
I've picked my label down to nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing there now.
Okay, screw it. Okay, let's sniff and
we're just
see
gonna
what we
figure
get.
this out.
We're gonna take a sniff. We'll see what we get. Oh, god damn it!
What is that?
Chocolate.
No, it's not.
It's chocolate.
Is that
Mine's-
like what is that made with though? Is that made with like straight corn whiskey?
Dirt.
Is that chocolate corn whiskey?
Is it buttered popcorn?
I think it's buttered popcorn. I think you're right.
Or could these mystery flavors all be different, or do you think
No.
they're all the same?
I feel like it has to be the same. I
Okay.
feel like that there's no benefit in them. Like
Hey, dude,
I get butter.
look at the label real close. Is that a carton of popcorn behind the 99?
It's not mystery. It's just it shows popcorn on there.
Yeah, but our dumbasses didn't notice it. We're sitting here scratching and sniffing the bottle.
Well, why do they call it mystery flavor? They should just call it buttered popcorn.
I mean, I think let's try.
If you're gonna put look, there's popcorn behind the numbers. Right behind that
it's
nine.
got the red and white stripe classic box.
Well, fuck it. Cheers.
99 proof buttered popcorn. Are
Buttered
you
popcorn
kidding me?
whiskey. Here we go.
It's not whiskey. It's just liqueur.
Yeah, buttered popcorn liquor.
Oh. No.
That's why I thought it was like corn with corn liquor. Like maybe I thought the base was like. Oh, come here, Chuck Norris.
Why does my mouth feel like that right now?
I need Chuck Norris to roundhouse kick my.
I need a Mountain Dew. Jesus.
Oh, thank you, Chuck.
Oh my God.
Oh, thank you, Chuck.
Why would anything taste like that?
Oh, thank you, Chuck.
There's nobody who can desire that. Thank you, Chuck.
Oh.
That man's somewhere right now going, "You're welcome."
Oh God, he just felt it. A breeze just went over his shoulder, and he said, "You're welcome." By instinct, he knows when the breeze goes over his shoulder, someone's thanking a Chuck Norris water.
I'm gonna try a little head-to-head competition here in a second. We haven't done that in a minute.
Oh,
You all right?
popcorn.
That wasn't good, man.
Popcorn liquor.
Popcorn liquor is not good.
Popcorn
Very
liquor's
burnt
not good.
popcorn. Very burnt popcorn. I felt like.
So, I'm not a big popcorn guy.
No.
When we go to the movies, we'll go to the movies, me, my wife, and my daughter. We'll get a large popcorn.
Is there one thing you
They
have
kind
to
of
get
eat it.
every time?
I'll eat like one handful.
There's one item you're gonna get for yourself. You're going to a movie. You have a selection of everything. It's free. Grab one thing that's your movie item. What is it?
Oh, if I can grab one thing that I get for the movie, it's gonna be a gummy thing. That's gonna vary from movie theater to movie theater. You know what I mean?
Mine is always Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch Kids are my movie theater thing. Also, a secondary runner-up is something my father did. I don't even remember the movie my father and I saw. I don't remember what it was, but I remember that we came back and we took the Reese's Pieces and he put them in the freezer. And to this day, there's nothing better than a Reese's Pieces out of a freezer. You're still debating and fighting that beer.
I don't know what I think about it. I can't decide how I feel about it.
It's got to be better than the buttered popcorn.
I think the buttered popcorn might be fucking with the pumpkin.
Oh, God. Buttered popcorn pumpkin? Popkin?
Yeah. Just start drinking regular whiskey just to kill all the flavors.
Start chugging it.
Yeah.
Just start chugging it.
But I think we're gonna call it in. We drank the buttered popcorn.
Yeah.
I drank the pumpkin.
Yeah.
This has been two dudes wearing hats.
Yep.
I'm Mike. He's
I'm
Brendan. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you go to Two Dudes Wearing Hats for all links. Follow us on Twitch. Subscribe on Twitch. Make sure you follow him at that dude named Brendan. Follow me at that dude named Mike.
That's him.
We'll see y'all next week.
Bye-bye.